Local service ads can be a great platform, but it is definitely not perfect. I'm going to go over the pros and cons of the platform if you're thinking about using it for your local business. One of the biggest pros with local service ads is that it's a pay per lead platform. Now, Google Ads, on the other hand, that is a pay per click platform. Local service ads, you only pay when a lead comes into your business, whether that's a phone call or a form fill. So that makes the setup, the billing, everything so much simpler because you're only paying for leads. And the other great thing about local service ads is if a lead comes in and it's just not a good fit, just totally irrelevant, or they're calling for something else, you can dispute the lead and potentially get a refund and a credit for the next month from Google. So with that in mind, it's a really good option if you're looking for something simple and a little bit more straightforward and you don't really want to dive into Google Ads just yet. Now, on the other hand, there are cons to the platform. It sounds great on the surface, but there are some, I guess, issues that I've found when I've been running them. I would say the biggest con with local service ads is there's not really like as much control as you would like. So with Google Ads, it's pay per click. So you can just, as long as you can get traffic from Google, you can get the traffic, you can try and convert into leads. You have a lot more control there. Where with local service ads, it's kind of a black box, if you will. Like Google doesn't really tell you why something is or is not working. You can't optimize it. All you can really do is set up the profile, set the budget, and hopefully Google sends you some leads. And when that's problematic is if you have a campaign that's running and for whatever reason, it's just not getting leads or it's not getting enough leads. There's just not a lot of clarity from Google about why that is and what you can do to like really jumpstart that. Another big con that I've found is that it seems like, as especially nowadays, Google values things like reviews a ton with that. So they work much better if you already have a really good Google Maps listing. You have a lot of reviews. Ideally, you're one of the top in your market. So if you're already ranking on Google Maps, then you're probably going to have more success with it. But if you're just starting a business, you don't have any reviews, you don't have, kind of an established Google Maps listing, it's going to be a lot harder to get leads because there is kind of a ranking hierarchy that Google uses. And you're going to find if you look for different businesses in your market, the local service ads that are going to be at the top are usually the people with the most reviews, the most established profiles, and have been in the business longest. So yeah, there's definitely pros, there's definitely cons with local service ads, but it's one of those platforms where it's not a massive investment to get started. You just have to get approved by Google. Then you can get going and hopefully it works out. If not, you're not going to be out thousands of dollars. So it's something to at least try out to see if it works for your business.